Hello and welcome back to Shadowrun Dragonfall. We are still in the Kriz Bazaar. We have our orders to go meet Altug Barakzi. I'm gonna butcher that. My bad, dude. Anyway, he supposedly has some information, or may have some information, so wow, I'm surprised that was not a transition. This is just another building. Okay. And nobody else wants to talk, and there's nothing else to interact with. Oh, wait a minute. Check out the menu board. Oh, there's another guy there. The special today is a caramel soy calf. I mean, this is borderline a slum, so to see this, like, place actually have, you know, more than just black coffee and also, you know, books and pastries and things. Kind of a surprise. Anyway, what's up with you, Jan Goldschmidt? Hello? Hello, my friend. The voice that comes from the man in the chair is as enormous as its owner, a deep booming roar, dripping with unrestrained mirth. A fine day for a soy calf, yes? Yes, it certainly is a From the back of the store, the voice of the shopkeep cuts you off. Don't mind the fool in the chair. He roars like a traumatized walrus, stewing all day in his own sweat. The man behind the bar glares at Goldschmidt, his upper lip curled in disgust. I tolerate him only because he takes his soy calf by the bucket. Goldschmidt responds with a raucous belly laugh. Apparently he finds the shopkeeper's insults to be hilarious. Ah, Altug, mein Freunden, you are as quick-witted... Why is that uppercase? You are as quick-witted and sharp-tongued as ever. I bow to you. If you wouldn't mind... Once again, the shopkeep cuts in. To bow to me, you would first have to vacate your chair. The shopkeep claps his hands together, clasping them in front of his chest. I shall summon a team of determined young men and an ox to assist with the task. With luck, you will be on your feet by nightfall. Goldschmidt smiles up at you, his small eyes glittering. Enough of this senseless bickering. You have approached me for a reason, yes? Tell me, what can Jan Goldschmidt do for you? Well, none of these answers are the one I want to give. What is with these three answers? Nothing? I'm done with this, I guess? Goldschmidt gives you a deep nod, his jaws quivering. Until next time, my friend. Alright, well... The man behind the counter looks right past you and at the dog, following close behind. Dante, I will fetch his water dish, and perhaps a coffee for our friend here? I don't really want to order a coffee. I don't know why I would. Paul Amsel sends his regards. When he hears Amsel's name, the Turk's voice lowers and his accent becomes less exaggerated. His eyes take on a knowing look. Ah, very good. Please express to Herr Amsel my appreciation of his patronage. If he needs any more catering jobs seen to in the future, I am always happy to provide. Paul is always pleased to send business your way, Herr I gotta figure this out so I can actually say it if I'm gonna have to say it. Barak Ghazi. It's a matter of emphasis, and yeah, it's... Turkish is a weird language. Turkic languages in general are very unusual linguistically. They're their own branch of like languages entirely. So... Paul is always pleased to send business your way, Herr Barakgazi. He was hoping you could discuss some of the details of his Green Winters order with me. The coffee shop owner offers you a smile. Of course, of course. Herr Amsel is too kind. Barakazi turns his head and calls into the back room. Kami, come. A young woman bustles in from the back room. Her gum chewing is loud enough to hear over the noise of the coffee grinders. Barakazi spits something out in rapid-fire Turkish. As you wish, uncle. I will see to it right away. Kami offers you a shy grin, snaps her gum, and hurries back into the room that she came from. Where is there another room? My girl Kami is arranging to make contact with the chef as we speak. This will likely take some time. My chef is a busy man. While we wait, I wonder if you would be so kind as to run a small errand for me. A trifle, really. I hate to trouble you. I am embarrassed even to ask, but I would be most appreciative of your help. What is this trifle? Altug's voice lowers to nearly a whisper. The errand is simple, hardly worthy of you. I've installed a number of data taps into Berlin's fiber optic network as part of my civic duty, you understand. These taps provide free matrix access to all who live in the Kriz Bazaar. In order to maintain their, their anonymity, each tap's protocol buffer must be reset every few days. Simply wish for you to visit each data tap and reset it. Don't you have people for this? My regular errand runners are all indisposed, and delightfully you are here. Besides, we must wait for Kami to return. It is a fortuitous circumstance. Just reset the taps and come back when you are finished. There should be 3 of them scattered around this neighborhood. The first one is just outside. Look for a metal box with yellow arrows painted atop it. By the time you return, I should have the information Herr Amsel requested. So I'm guessing this is probably... this is probably to... That's weird. If I hadn't already looked around, it would get me to look around. And also to discover that phone booth. You said they're right outside. Wait a minute. Oh, this is different. Okay, never mind. Still, it would force me to look around. I can't tell if the... I'm holding Alt to bring up the prompts, but I don't think they show up if it's behind like Fog of War. Yeah. Were these even open before? I don't think they were. I think the last one is over here. Yeah. Maybe this one was. Maybe I do... I'm not sure, actually. Oh well. As you are resetting the data tap, you notice that someone has duct taped a small homemade receiver to the system. An earplug dangles from the receiver. Well, I might as well listen. Put the earplug in your ear. The sound of heavy machinery makes it difficult to hear the words that are being spoken. After a moment, you find you can make out 2 distinct voices. A nasal woman who sounds like a heavy smoker, and a man who speaks in a high-pitched, breathy tone. I assume that's supposed to be static. Just heard, Monica, need to verify. Good for us. Well, whatever. Sound like a conveyor belt starting adds to the noise of machinery, and you can't make out anything else until it comes to a stop a minute later. Think our next step... Wait. Isn't ready to move yet. Be patient. To be patient. See who steps up. Could be someone more... I mean, what are they going to do? Come out of the woodwork and kick my ass or something? More conveyor belt starts up. All you can hear is the sound of machinery. Sound of a motorized vehicle starts up. Bell rings loudly again and again. It sounds like a telephone. You hear the sound of a door slamming shut, and the noise of machinery is suddenly muffled. There's a rattle of plastic, and the ringing stops. The nasal woman's voice can be heard again in a sing-song tone. Guten Tag, how may I help you? Silence. Her tone changes, becomes more businesslike. I heard. Silence. Yes, he knows. I told them it wasn't time to make a move yet. Silence. What do you think I am, an idiot? The council needs to meet again. Silence. I know. Getting everyone in the same room is challenging. Getting them to agree on a course of action is going to be even more challenging. From my perspective, the Kriz Bazaar was only stable because of her. If she really is out of the way, well, we'll see, won't we? Silence. Ja, I know. What can I say? Things go slow in the flux sometimes. It's not Ja, it's Ya. I don't like this. It's better than the one in the first game. It's just... Either do it... Because, like, if you don't... Never mind. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm just being persnickety. You hear the sound of a door opening again. The cacophony of machinery fills the line. You can't make out anything more. Alright, well. That was something. I'm glad I waited around. I'm not really sure why it gave me so many opportunities to not hear it. Feels kind of unnecessary, unless it's more important than it seems. And then if it is, then why would they not put in more of an effort to make sure I hear it, I guess? That makes sense. Like, if there is a serious effect for me having heard it or having not heard it, you'd either think that would mean the game would insist on me hearing it by, sort of railroading me into it in a more dramatic form, or that it wouldn't try so hard to stop me from hearing it, right? All right. I don't know why this is still... I guess, okay. I've been complaining about how you have to click on somebody and then you kind of sort of path to them and then you have to click on them again. It's not super consistent, so I don't know if I can actually give them credit for this, but it does save you from the accidental, oh, I thought I was clicking on a place and instead I clicked on a person. Which, per the game's... most of the game's design, doesn't actually ever turn into a problem, or... should have a very low chance of turning into a problem, but I suppose it is a safety thing. It is I think it is more of a nuisance this way, though. I don't know. The man behind the counter has the broad smile and open demeanor of a classic Turkish street vendor. Welcome, honored Efendim. Welcome. And how can Burak Ghazi, I'm going to keep fucking that up. How can Burak Ghazi serve you today? Would you like a cup of coffee, perhaps? Coffee? As in real coffee? Not soy calf? Yes, for individuals of refined taste, I offer genuine bean coffee from my native Turkey. The cafe owner looks you in the eye. The tone of his voice grows low and serious. This is a top-shelf item, my friend, and not for the general public, only for those few discerning connoisseurs who can properly appreciate it. Fuck it, why not? I think I'm the sort who can appreciate it. Tell me about the Turkish coffee. It is hand-picked by my family in Turkey, a true delicacy of the Sixth World. This was considered a luxury even before the Awakening, when bean coffee was everywhere. Every street corner, they say. Burak Ghazi leans in close, lowering his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. Long hours in the shop have perfumed his body with the commingled scents of coffee, incense, and applewood tobacco. Trust me, if your coffee experience has been limited to soy calf, you must not deny yourself this opportunity. You will see God. All right, you sold me. How much? This is a specialty item, delivered at some cost. I cannot part with it for less than 50 new yen a cup. This feels like a lot of money for some flavor text. Unless it's not just flavor text. Is this more than flavor text? Hold on. Yes, I am looking this up because I'm kind of curious whether the game designers would actually do that just for flavor. It seems like a good game designer wouldn't, but oh, okay. It does actually have a functional reason to exist. That is a very light spoiler. Doesn't tell me anything. It just tells me it's useful. Okay, fine. Feels weird to have it this way if it is a utilitarian. Like, again, this is a game design thing. Like, if it was just for flavor text, then 50 new yen would be like outrageous for some flavor text that I already got 90% of without paying. If it was not for flavor text, which you would assume based on good game design principles of you don't create things to do that are totally useless, then probably 50 new yen is a pretty good price for it. But like, it kind of, there's not really something about the game. Like, it's not like there's a lot of gray area. This is not a game where you're, trading in items all that often. So there's not a lot of gray area. It either is completely useless or very useful, right? Or, well, not necessarily very useful, but, plot specific useful. So I was wondering which one it is, and now I know. Deal. Very good. Burakazi hands you a ceramic travel cup, which he then fills to the brim with dark, steaming liquid. The scent is intoxicating. Hold on, dude. You already brewed it? If your coffee's that rare, which it sounds like it is, you would never grind and brew it before you were about to before you had already exchanged the cash. That's just bad baristaing. Anyway. I finished with your little trifle, Herr Burakazi. Ah, very good. I assume you had no difficulties? Huh. Should I tell him that it was tampered with? He probably would have found it himself, presumably. So, those traps are a public service, is that it? It's the least I can do to give it back to our little community. Without a minor effort from me, all in the Kriz Bazaar may enjoy... With but a minor effort from me, all in the Kriz Bazaar may enjoy free access to the Matrix and high-speed communications. All for the greater good, eh? Well, it's interesting that decking one prevents me from doing that. I can't, yeah. Yeah, you're a prince. I do what I can. I trust you encountered no difficulties? I don't trust this guy, but I also don't think he'd be so stupid as to send me on an errand for to go do maintenance on a tap that he knew would be iffy. So I don't think he knows about this, and I think he would probably genuinely be worried. Difficulties? No. One of the taps had been modified a bit, though. Someone was using it as a surveillance device. He laughs. Of course they were. I would be surprised if they weren't. This is Berlin, after all. In the flux, everyone spies. If you do not spy, how will you know who is in power and who will be in power next? If you are to stay here, Efendim, you must get used to it. Who enters the Turkish bath will sweat, as my uncle Tedemir always says. Nevertheless, I shall have one of my people look into it. Wait, I don't have the option to not tell him what this is about? That seems... both this and the prior game do have a tendency to, once you're locked into something, not let you just end it preemptively. And I'm not sure if that's due to writing strictures, where it's like, you're on this path, now you're going to ride it to the end. I mean, in a more... It is an interesting contrast to newer types of RPGs. This is very much in the sort of like old CRPG style. But in like a newer RPG or something like that, there's a lot more opportunity to just, duck out of conversations. But a lot of them also are a bit more free-flowing, but a bit less impactful. So I'm wondering if this is just a side effect of like, hey, you picked this one, you're going for it all the way, we want you to see the full details of the story you picked, because ducking out at this point, according to our script, you've already done the good or done the bad. But it does feel a little railroady. Anyway, wait, there's more. I listened in on the tap and heard something. Might be important. He eyes you closely, amused. Well, I don't want to amuse him. I'd kind of like to keep this to myself. Oh, tell me, oh listener at Keyholes, what did you hear in this surveillance tap you found? I couldn't make out much. A nasal woman and a high-pitched man. They seemed pleased Monica was out of the picture. The Turk's face falls. News travels fast in Berlin. These two are known to me. Is there more? The woman got a call. She talked about a council meeting tonight to decide if they should make a move. Then she was drowned out by heavy machinery. He nods grimly. Most excellent. It is indeed fortuitous that you discovered this information, though it is not unexpected. I will have one of my people attend this council meeting and report back. I'm very interested in this, so let me know what happens. With that out of the way, let us return to our pressing business. He barks a stream of rapid-fire Turkish, and the gum-chewing young woman comes hurrying to the counter. The menu for Herr Amsel, uncle. Calmly holds you a folded piece of paper. Inside is a memory stick. Please extend my consolations to him. The death of Fraulein Schaefer must have hit him hard. Barakgazi gives Kami a small nod. She hurries out of the room. When she is gone, he returns his attention to you. Please express my condolences as well. I only just heard the news. Monaco is an important part of this community. He frowns. Few know how important. The memory stick Kami just handed you should contain all the information Herr Amsel requires from our chef in the field. Should you require my services in the future, you know where to find me. Until then, good day. Alright, you got anything else? No. Alright. Well, let's get out of here. Back to the hideout. And we will address our next steps. On the next episode, I think. So I'll see you guys for that in a few moments. Well, moments for me, at least. See you guys in the next episode.